Cool. How does it feel to be outside? Yes, it feels great as first practice. Wonderful. Don't know. Which piece of the hair? I'm talking about up top. I do this for everybody who can't. I'm not going to name any names, but in this building we have some guys that don't have any, and I'm just trying to grow it long enough to donate. As far as this, again, we have some guys in the locker room that can't grow this, and I'm just doing it for for their envy. As a leader, I got to be on the forefront of a lot of things.
Not a Samson sort of deal.
I don't think so. If anything, it's just a little bit more cushion. Though this year we don't need them with the extra protection. I feel like a 2-year-old running around out in the field today, very head first. I love whoever made these regulations. Probably NFL, probably NFLPA, probably both of them
What
together.
is that? What are those like wearing? Like when you're actually? Do you notice a difference? Or
Did you hear me?
yes, no. I mean,
I'm there's a noticeable change that they're going to say is not noticeable.
okay.
But yeah, you can feel it, and I'm sure in the next couple of days when we get pads on, I'll be able to tell just as much because I've got a lot of lot of moves that involve shaking and shimming with the head, so I'm going to look like a big old bobblehead. And I don't know, I'm trying to do the right thing and be a team guy and rock this one out. We'll see how long this lasts.
A lot of swag on those helmets.
Yeah, did you see? I came out the tan bubble wrap, and then I had the tan shirt, then I had the tan shorts and the tan shoes. I was just trying to be all golden tan, I couldn't find any socks. I had to go white socks. It was a bummer.
Do you think those exterior pads are physically limiting, actually, or just
No, they're
annoying?
just annoying. They're not limiting at all. If anything, again, I just feel like a 2-year-old, like a 1.5-year-old, just like that forward lean that they always have, So it is what it is, but apparently it helps protect us from concussions, although I've never had one. So maybe that's why. Year 12 is, now I need the bubble wrap.
Speaking of year 12, does it feel
Year
like,
doesn't.
just body-wise and how you feel, does it almost, I know you're older, but does it feel like it's the first or second camp for you in a sense?
No,
Like,
no, it doesn't.
it's still, you feel the grind of
Yeah,
each
it
camp,
feels
okay.
like year doesn't. No, I mean, it can't be the first or second camp. I'm looking at some kids that are born in the 2000s now. They're getting weirder every year. I love it for us that, this year's camp, we've got some tremendous talent in the young group. You talk about Alante Taylor, you talk about Chris Olave. I call him Olive Branch sometimes. I should probably just give him the respect he deserves because he's fast. There's big Trevor Pinnick. I'm not going to say what school he comes out of because it's one of those. There's, one of those.
Yeah.
Yep. I think that we got Sergeant Lieutenant Major Corporal Jordan Jackson, which I don't even think he was deemed a sergeant or a lieutenant, but he came from the Air Force Academy, so he's as such. But with all these young kids out there, it's just another group to sort of try and help corral and coach the right way, especially when we talk about Jordan Jackson and Jake Black. Bring him the right way. And I've been doing that since year 3. So does it feel like year 1 or 2? No, I didn't have to lead anybody. But I've been in this for at least 9 seasons now, where you have to corral the next wave, and this is another one.
Cam, you've always had a chance to talk to Mike Thomas today, and what does it mean?
The Michael Thomas, the former offensive player of the year, Michael Thomas. Yeah.
What does it mean to have him back on the field, as best you can say it?
I mean, how explosive or how much potential does our offense actually have? Like when you think about, you draft a guy like, again, Chris Olave, you bring in, you have Jarvis Landry, Mike T steps back on the field. Mike T alone can do it for you. So now you give, one of the ultimate weapons, more weapons, and then you give it to a guy like Jameis, who was playing lights out at the beginning of last year through, him being hurt. Untold potential. So what does it do? It opens up the field even more. How much more? I don't know. We'll see. We went from having the highest draft pick being Traquan last year to, nobody being drafted behind him in our receiving core to now all of them being drafted and having weight in the league. We talk about Jarvis and Mike T. And then you bring in Chris Olave, who's been training with Mike T since. Yes.
Cam, what is your take in the Pac-12 with USC? UCLA?
Man, I don't know. But there's probably about to be no more Pac-12 after the season, right? This is like the final goodbye. Because you figure once USC, UCLA leave, and I'm not sure how UCLA leaves, but yeah, once USC decides to leave, go get big money, I get that. The private school anyways, I don't know how much more money they need. UCLA just packaged into that deal along with their Adidas or whatever. Are they Jordan now?
So you worried about Cal now?
Who knows? Cal hasn't. hasn't lived up to football expectations in a while. So they're still fighting and coming back as Cal, the powerhouse that I knew them as, with guys like Aaron Rodgers, Marshawn Lynch, Deshaun Jackson, Tyson Lulu, Alex Mack, Keenan Allen, Marvin Jones, probably rounding out with me. To the new wave of their last first round draft pick was Jared Goff, and guys after that. So there was a separation there, and in there I think they went to Under Armour as a school. That's tough to sell to anybody. Hey, we are the same brand as Steph Curry. No, you got the Steph Curry. No, we don't. You got hunting gear. Love it on a football team.
Hey, Cam, I know it's early, but are you noticing the differences between Sean and Dennis just as far as how they run camp and everything?
Yeah, of course. Da, I know. I'd like to say, I know trust as a defensive coordinator, so I feel like I can come up and talk to him if I have any qualms, and I hate that. With Sean, he was an offensive guy, so the only time I wanted to see him was like at a basketball game. Like I don't really want to see him because if I have to see him during practice, it's because the defense is messed up. We're seeing him during the game, it's because the defense is really messed up. With Da, I know we're going to be there every down. Like it's in my mind, we're a defense first team, which I love, and at the same time, I don't know if I'm used to it. I've never had a defensive minded head coach before, so I think that it's going to be great for us because again, we're going to get better as a defense, and we know we have the tools to be great on offense already. So if we can become better on defense, how much more can we go?
How will you analyze, because you've been with them longer, Marcus Davenport and Peyton Turner, like their game?
Marcus Davenport is a force to be reckoned with. I've been calling him a freak for the last 4 years, and he's a freak of nature. 6'6", 6'7", whatever he is, 40-inch vert, runs probably a 4.5, just a freak of nature, a natural calamity, if you will, when he hits the field. And now he's heading to year 5, and you saw what he did last year in 11 games, 10 games, 10 and a half games, whatever it was, 9 sacks deep. He has a pure want to get to the quarterback. He has this, I love it because he's one of those guys that you have to pull back. Like he goes hard as he can every rep if he gets a chance. And we're going to make Peyton Turner the same way. We've got some ways to go.
Cam, you are a typical Cam Jordan year away from the franchise sack record. How meaningful for you?
Are we thinking like low-end Cam Jordan year, like rookie year 1 sack? That's not going to get it.
No, it ain't going to get
Okay, yeah. We go for 15 and a half sacks. We'll be there. We'll be there. We do the average after rookie year, which is like 7.5. We still won't get there, so we need a little bit more than just a down year. And I'd like to win a Super Bowl, so we need a phenomenal year. So we'll worry about that when this time next offseason. At this point, as we're gearing into season, all I care about is getting the next W and not preseason W's. You can do what you want with that. I'm sure we want to win that as a team, but I need the moment that they matter, the moment they count towards playoffs, I need that to be in the columns.
And what was like the biggest difference between the start of last year and the end of last year with that big production spike? Is there anything that...
Which part are we talking about? We talking about the 58 different starters that we had on the team, or are we talking about the 4 quarterbacks that we went through in the season?
I'm talking about you specifically.
Personally. Yeah, I mean that could be attuned to pressures becoming sacks. You can have all the pressures in the world if you don't drive home, nobody actually cares. You could be a pressure king, but if all you end up with 7 or 8 sacks, it's a down, quote unquote down season. I could care less about stats during season. I'm trying to get these wins, and even if I wasn't getting home, there was enough impact there to affect throws, affect quarterbacks. And so when I try and tell the D line, I try and tell the defense, it's not about numbers all the time. It's about being effective. You can be effective in a game and become statless, but eventually they're going to start hitting home, and they started hitting home.
So Cam, where are you right now as far as you used to year after year play 90-some% of defensive snaps?
I don't know. You got to take
Are
up.
you around 70% now?
I have no idea. You got to take this up with the coaches. I get in arguments with them all the time. Again, I've always been, I need everything or nothing at all, and they're trying to find this in between. I don't have in between. I wake up in the morning, I go get it, and I fall asleep. I don't know what time I go to sleep because I don't know what time I'm running out of energy. I have a set amount. I give you what I got, and somewhere around 9 o'clock, hopefully I see 10, and then I'm back up when the sun comes up.
You're not a Veterans Day off guy?
I don't know what to do with my vet. They gave me vet days last year, and I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna go run, and then they're like, don't run. So I'm like, all right, so what are you supposed to do on a vet day? So
Are you a historian? Like you care about legacy and
maybe.
Do I care about legacy like, Steve Jordan and Cam Jordan having 13 Pro Bowls together? No.
No,
Jesus Christ, no.
Let me go wider. This defense, like the dome patrol has always been the standard here.
Was it? How many playoffs they went to?
Yeah, I don't know.
A bunch, but
Before my
then
time, yes,
I'm not here to knock or put anything. I think they were amazing as a defense, but we're trying to be amazing as a team. We're chasing the prize here. The prize is to win a Super Bowl. I'll leave the fanfare to call it Dome Patrol 2.3 17.0. We are worried about being the best Amari Davis, being the best Cameron Jordan, being the best Marcus Davenport, being the best Marshawn Lattimore, being the best defense we can be. In my mind, we'll leave the identity of defense. It always forms exactly how you want to by game 4 or 5. It's too early to tell in terms of just having those bobbleheads we had on today. I can't tell you how our defense is going to form, but when it does, we'll know exactly who we are. We're trying to be an aggressive, top-tier defense this year. I mean, in my mind, defense wins championships. Each and every year you see it. You can give Cooper Kupp the MVP of the Super Bowl, but without Von Miller, without Aaron Donald, I don't know if that's coming out the same way. You look back, you go each and every year. I mean, Tom Brady with Tampa Bay and, Kansas City, if you see the defense tear through the Kansas City way it did in the Super Bowl, defense wins championships. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be a championship defense.
Talk about that effectiveness that you ended last season with. Just seeing yourself produce like that, does that, I don't know if it instills any confidence in you in terms of going, like, I can still play this game at my age? Like, does that
what does that
factor in
mean?
any way?
Nope. No, I have no idea what that means. In this day, all I keep saying to myself and to the defense is, use me until it's all gone. I mean, I've been blessed enough to be here to now year dozen. I don't know how many more years you can play this game, whether it's 20 years or whether it's 13 years. Use me until I've got nothing left to give, and let me walk away from this game with your head held high, knowing that you gave everything. When it comes to our defense, that's exactly the mentality it takes. It's not about just it's about we. So whether I can be the most effective, I could have 30 sacks and 0 pressures, and all you care about is the sack numbers. But if it's not affecting the quarterback like that, I've lost effectiveness. I could have 107 pressures and 2 sacks and be a pressure king, but if you guys don't see the sacks, it's a down year. I am here for, to create a better defense, and at the end of the day, I've never really rested my head on just being a pass rusher. That edge rusher stat for guys who rush the pass rusher, I'm sure that's great, but can they stop this run? Can they hold down? Does it offense actually fear you, or do you just have to worry about you on third down? You got to see me first, second, third down, and I'm coming with the hands every down.
What motivates you?
One more, guys.
These hands. I'm trying to place them on somebody. My mama blessed me with holy oil when I was a kid, so I'll be trying to bless people with these hands ever since. I don't know. In reality, I think that I love the idea that I can play first, second, third, fourth down if we have to, overtime if it's there. I'm here to go the distance each and every snap, each and every play. So I could care less about, what happens first. If I have a great first down, if it comes out as sack, great. We still got to go second down. It motivates me to be the best, and I try and chase the most complete defensive end. You can have your edge rusher stats, you can have your run stopper stats, but if you can combine the two, that's what I'm looking for. I want to be the best of all.
So, Cam, do you get any counsel from your dad, obviously, because y'all came in late?
Not anymore.
The number of years, not anymore?
Yeah, not anymore. After like year 3, he's chillaxed a lot. Like it used to be like right after the games he'd try and talk, win, lose, or draw. And then it used to be like a 24-hour spell where he'd like let me understand. And now like, he'll call in like the middle of the week if he calls. Like now he's just over me. He's got grandkids, he's got other priorities. He's got a Minnesota, Saints game every year. Like whatever.
You care about Hall of Fame?
For my dad, absolutely. I mean, he's a 6-time Pro Bowler, probably the first dual threat tight end, as in a blocking tight end and a receiving tight end of his time, really. I mean, just a game changer. And I think there's probably not enough tight ends in the Hall of Fame for him to get in. You can get I shouldn't say that. I'm going to hold that one back from this last year's Hall of Fame.
What about yourself? Hall of Fame.
What about it? I
Does that
mean,
mean something to
if you look at last year's Hall of Fame, we all have a shot. I wasn't, but you kept serving it. I've got to go. You got that +1. I'm in trouble already.
That's gonna be a soundbite.